Hi everybody, it's Christina. Today what we're going to do is we're actually going to focus on alignment of postures. I thought that we would talk about the actual alignment of Warrior 1 or Virabhadrasana A, Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana B, and then also talk about Udaya Trikonasana, which is your triangle pose or extended triangle pose, and then Tadasana, which is mountain pose. So we're going to go through, so what I need you to make sure you have is to get a yoga block, because this is going to be something that you're going to be using to show how to get into proper alignment with some of our postures, and also to get a yoga strap. You know, if you don't have a yoga strap, you know, maybe you can get like, you know, a string or a rope, something that will be as long as the mat, and something you can see. And sometimes what you can even do is take chalk and just draw it on the mat. Just make sure that you can wipe it off. But we're going to utilize these items so we can show you how to get your feet into the proper position when you go into the alignment of the postures. That way you get the full benefit of them and you can engage your muscles correctly. So I do want to start off with our normal morning meditation. So go ahead and sit up tall, sit on a comfortable position. For myself, I'm actually sitting on a block. And here, I'll just show you the difference here. So sitting on the block allows me to tilt my pelvis forward, which allows my inner thighs and those adductor muscles to relax a little bit and to have my knees come down. And then I'm able to stack my heels in front of one another. But this took a little time for this to happen. But sometimes just by sitting on the block, it releases this muscle right here, the inner thighs, or even that psoas muscle. And that actually runs from the top of the thigh, comes through the pelvis, and attaches into your T12 in your spine. So for me, if I come off of the block, see, I sit a little bit forward because my pelvis isn't tilted in the right position for me. It's not anatomically correct for me. Also sitting like this, my knees come up and it just doesn't feel good for me. For some of you, you may be able to sit up nice and tall and this is fine. You can sit in this position. But by getting that block, placing it underneath the sits bones, and then more like on the edge, and what you can do is you lean forward, you take the flesh out from underneath the thighs, and then all of a sudden I'm able to sit up a little bit taller, it's more comfortable, and I'm able to sit here. You can do the same thing, by sitting on a blanket. Maybe you don't need to be up quite as high, or take a block that's, I think it's what it's called, like a 2 or 3 inch block. These are 4 inch blocks. They're a little bit fatter. I like these because they have more stability personally. So find what's comfortable for you, and you can even have your legs straightened out if this, in one of these positions is just not comfortable. That's okay. So shoulders more in line with the hips, ears bring in line with the shoulders, and this is going to allow you to open up that rib cage more, creating space because you're lengthening the spine at the same time. Palms can be face down on the thighs, they can be face up. Connect the index finger and the thumb, or maybe you just want to cradle them in your lap with your thumbs touching. That's okay. So close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and just sigh it out. Deep breath in, fill the lungs all the way up. Sigh it out with force. All right, come on, I think we can do better than that. Deep breath in, sigh it out. All right, now we're talking. So come to the natural breath. Just notice how the air is moving up and down, in and out of your lungs. And then take that body scan. Start from the top of your head all the way down through your torso, down your legs, your arms, and to your feet. And if there's any points of tension, I want you to start directing the breath to those areas. And give those areas a little color. So as you breathe in, that color gets bold and bright. But then as you exhale, you notice that the color starts to fade away. Eventually it's gone because the tension fades away, it dissipates. So go through a few rounds of the breath like that, and I'm going to go ahead and strike the heart chakra bowl and just feel that vibration and help it to amplify your breath to make the tension go away. and then the chest will rise up as the lungs completely inflate. When you exhale, the chest will fall first, the rib will start to draw in, and then the belly draws in as all the air leaves the lungs. So together, everybody, deep breath in, belly gets big, ribs start to come apart, chest rises up. As you exhale, the chest falls, the ribs draw in, and the low belly draws in. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Do this on your own, just having that awareness, that mindfulness or cognizance, that the breath is moving in 3 distinctive parts, up and down, in and out of your lungs. As you're focused on the breath, I'm going to strike the chakra bowl, and I want you to feel that vibration going up and down the spine, down your legs, down your arms, through the neck, through the head, and just feel that and feel love and compassion for yourself, because what we are doing today is about self-love and self-care for you. So keep the breath, feel the vibration. Slowly exhale all the breath all the way out of the lungs. When you get there, pause and exhale just a little bit more. Inhale, fill the lungs all the way up. Sit up a little bit taller. Pause. Take a little bit more air in. Pull that belly in. Slowly exhale the breath all the way out. When you get to the bottom of the lungs, pause. Exhale just a little bit more. And then just come to your natural breath. Notice how you feel. You may feel a little lightheaded actually, because you're taking all this oxygen into the bloodstream. And sometimes we forget how to breathe, as silly as that sounds, because we're so focused on doing our daily tasks. We don't focus and just think about what it means to breathe, how to activate, the lungs, the diaphragm, the belly, everything that's going to take over while you're doing your actual breath. And that's what yoga is. It's yoga. It's union. It's the connection of the mind, the body, and the breath. So start to think about what the personal intention is that you're going to set for your practice this morning. It can be anything. I just need it to be the reason why you unrolled the mat. It's personal. It's up to you. It can be health. It can be trying something new. Maybe you're bored because you can't leave your house right now. There's just so many things. It can be self-love, it can be self-care, patience, mindfulness. It can be for someone or something else. Whatever it is, make it simple, make it personal, because this is about you and your practice. Take a nice deep breath in, sigh it out. One more breath in, sigh it out. Then please bring the palms together at heart center, bow your head, and you can repeat after me for the class theme. It is in Sanskrit, it's the vibrational language. So, Loka, Samasta, Sukhino, Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may our own words, thoughts, and actions contribute towards the happiness and freedom for all. Take a nice deep, deep breath in. Sigh it out. Deep breath in. This time as you exhale, bring the palms face down to the thighs. Drop that chin into the chest. Bring the shoulders more in Feel like the bones are coming apart. Feel the muscles and tendons in the sides of your neck as they start to lengthen out a little bit. And I need to make sure that you are breathing fully and completely. Because remember, this is all about you. This is your practice. Beautiful. Now take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, begin to lift the chin all the way up towards the ceiling, maybe dropping the head in between the shoulders, but being mindful if you've ever had any type of a neck injury. So don't go that far. Just enough to put a little compression on the spine and expose the throat here, taking full inhalations and exhalations. Now, if you're starting to feel like your legs are going to sleep, if you have this cross position, you're welcome to move and straighten them out. Sit up tall. Take a breath in. As you exhale, chin becomes parallel with the ground. And then begin to blink the eyes open. I'd like for you to take your right ear to your right shoulder. Take the left fingertips down on the ground next to you. And then begin to walk them away, but anchor into your sits bones to where you're not coming off of the block, the mat, or the blanket here. Start to feel the stretch going down the left side of the neck. And then maybe you take your right hand to the top of the head or towards the ear to pull the head closer into the shoulder to start to intensify that stretch. And breathe. Now, don't let the pride or the ego get in the way just because you're trying to match me. What I want you to be able to do is think about what your body needs today, and maybe that's not with the hand at all. Maybe your fingers aren't even on the ground, and this is enough just to tilt the head to the side. That's all we're looking for is the stretch, because it's not about tearing connective tissue or muscles. This is about you getting a benefit of a stretch, and it should feel good. So take a breath in. As you exhale, release the hands to the thighs and roll the chin down into the chest, and then take that left ear over the left shoulder, and the same thing here. So anchor into the sits bones first. Maybe you just leave the hands on the thighs, and this is enough, feeling the stretch. Or the right fingertips come down, you walk them away, anchor into the block or the mat or blanket, feel the stretch, and maybe you pause here. Or left hand, top of the head, towards the ear, pulling the head closer into the shoulder and breathing. I also want you to take note, is one side different than the other? Maybe one's a little bit tighter? And just notice it. It doesn't mean anything, it just means that you're a little tighter on that side. And we just need to work a little bit more there to open it up. Deep breath in and out. In and out. All right, from here, deep breath, exhale, hands down to the thighs. Roll the chin down into the chest, and we're going to do some head rolls here. So starting with the right ear to the right shoulder, rotate the head all the way around, and keep going. Eventually the chin will come down to the chest, and just keep going in this direction. Now, if you have any points of tension here, maybe you need to pause and just kind of rock it back and forth, and then continue in this direction of the rotation. I want you to really notice how the muscles are squeezing in, how that cervical spine, that vertebrae of the neck is articulating and flexing here. And just take notice of it. Have that cognizance, have that awareness. Now begin to make this the very last rotation in this direction, eventually bringing the chin down into the chest. And I want you to pause, take a breath in, and then as you exhale, start going towards the left, all the way around. And same thing, if you need to pause and kind of rock it back and forth, if you have a little tension here, do that and continue the rotation in this direction. Remember, there's no judgments, there's no comparisons. This is about you. And I also invite you, if you ever go into any type of a studio class, I want you to think about that there's no one else in there but you, and to listen to the guidance of the teacher, but ultimately, you are your teacher, to listen to yourself and your body and do what it needs. Now just do one more rotation here, taking that head all the way around one more time. Then once you get the chin into the chest, I want you to pause there, take a nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, lift the chin up. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna do one more nice stretch here. So I want you to take your right hand to the base of the skull. The left hand's gonna come down on the ground to you, so firm into that left hand. And the fingers are pointing like towards the front of the mat. Anchor the buttocks into the block, your sits bones. And then I want you to start to open the chest up, pulling the elbow back and look up towards the ceiling. Pull the stomach in and breathe. Deep breath in through the nose and out. In and out. One more in. Exhale, come on up. And then take the left hand to the base of the skull. The right hand is going to come down next to you. Firm into that anchor. The buttocks sits bones into the block of the mat or blanket. Open the chest up. Pull the elbow back and look up towards the ceiling here. And take a deep breath in and out. Pull that belly in. Deep breath in and out. One more deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead and come on up. So what we're going to do next, we're actually going to cat and cow, but if you have any type of knee issues where getting on your hands and knees really isn't an option for you, what I want you to do is to continue to sit, or you can stand here too if you want to, if your legs just need a break from sitting down. But as you inhale, you're going to cactus the arms back, pulling the elbows, dropping the head. And then as you exhale, I want you to take opposite hand to opposite shoulder, chin to the chest and lean in, pulling the belly in, feeling how the scapula pull apart. And then the inhale going back into cactusing those arms. Exhaling, crossing, and just keep doing this over and over because we're going to do the exact same spinal flexion when we get into cat-cow. So if the knees are not an option, that's your variation for cat-cow. Now, for the rest of you, suggest get some padding for the knees if you need it. If not, that's good. I need you to line the knees right underneath the hips. Tuck your toes. Make sure all the toes are tucked. Then I want your hands shoulder width apart, and I want your shoulders stacked right on top of your wrist. Spread the fingers out wide and dig the tips of the fingers into the mat, the bottom of the knuckle, the thumb and the webbing, and then slightly lift the right palm up, leaving the fingers where they are, set it down, and do the same with the left. Then from here, I want you to turn the eye of the elbow more in line with the top part of the hand to help straighten the arms out and to pull the shoulders back. So roll them in and roll them out. See how the shoulders change? Now, once you're here, as you inhale, you're going to drop the stomach and you're going to lift the chin up, just like when we were cactusing the arms, okay? Exhale, chin into the chest, round through the spine, just like when we lean forward with the cross. It's the same thing. So here we go. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin up. Exhale, chin into the chest. And do this at your own pace. Just as you inhale, the belly drops, the chest comes up, the chin up. Exhale, chin into the chest, round, 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 press away, pull that belly in. And for those that are continuing with the cactus and the crossover, please keep doing it. We're just warming the spine up. I need you to move at your own breath. That's the beauty of yoga. There's always modification. There's always a different variation. So if you're in any type of a class and you're really not sure how to do something because you know that you're not meant for that particular posture, talk to your teacher about it. Or if you have questions, send me an email or put a comment in the video. You can always go to ChristinaKarstYoga.com and all of my contact information is there, or on Facebook at Christina Karst Yoga, and I'll be happy to work with you. Just a few more here. All right, last one, make it the best one. Beautiful. Now, from here, what I usually tell my students is I need you to get up in the best way that you can, because not everybody can get up in the same way. For me, what I like to do is I step one of my feet, like my left or my right foot forward, followed by the other, and then go ahead and come up into a standing position. But sometimes, it takes a little bit more time. So what we're going to do first is we're actually going to focus on the forward fold and the halfway lift, and then we'll start getting into the other postures. But we have to establish the foundation first. So first thing I want you to do, and I've got a yoga block here that's a little bit brighter color so it's easier to see, is I want you to take your yoga block, and this is a 4-inch block, and I want you to place it right in between the feet, and I want you to rub those mounds of the big toes around it. And then I want you to stand up. All right. Look down at your feet and just go ahead and remove the block, keeping the feet right where they are. This is your hip distance. So when your teacher tells you, step your feet hip width distance, this is what we're talking about. Everybody thinks their hips are this wide, but that's not what we're talking about here. Now, if you don't have a block in this particular session, bring the feet together, take your fist, put it in between, and then that's about the same when we're talking about a hip width distance apart. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to focus on the forward fold, and then I'm going to step this way so you can see it. And what's also nice is you can use the block to make the ground closer to you. You don't have to be able to touch your toes here, okay? So if you're going to use the block, this is called a level 3 setting when it's on the highest portion. If you lower it down to the next highest, that's called level 2. And when you flip it where it's flat on the wide edge, this is actually known as level 1. So I'm going to start off here at a level 2 position. And I want it to be where if I come and bend forward, that I can put my shoulder is in line with my wrist, you know, almost here, but it's just right in line. All right, so what I want you to do is to inhale the arms up, interlace steeple mudra, so that's the index fingers are pointing up, pull up, 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 pull the belly in and tuck the pelvis. From here, bend back just a little bit, and then we're going to exhale and we're going to fold forward. We're going to put our hands on the block or the mat for now. Bend your knees to start. And then what I want you to think about is to shift the weight into the ball of the foot here and then drop the head. So you're going to feel this more in the hamstrings and the buttocks this way. So maybe you don't need a block here. So you put your hands on the ground or you lower the level down. Drop the head, shift the weight, and if you're going to straighten the legs out, I need to get those hips more in line with the ankles because this is where we're going into Uttanasana or forward. Release the head, shake it yes, shake it no. Now, to do a halfway lift, if you're using the blocks, come up onto the fingertips. You can have the knees bent here still, shift the weight to the ball of the foot, and from here you're going to flatten your spine out, and you're going to pull your shoulders back and lift your chin up. Or you have your hands on your shins, you flatten the spine out, shift the weight forward, lift that chin up, and you're going to feel this light up in the back of the hamstrings. So this is Ardha Uttanasana. Depending on the flexibility, if you straighten the legs up, maybe you have the fingers in front of the toes, flatten the spine and lift the chin up, shifting the weight forward. Your hamstrings will be really lit up. So exhale. Go back into that forward fold, release the head. Then inhale, coming up to standing, taking the arms up, steeple mudra, pulling up, 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 belly in, tuck the pelvis, and then back, back, back. Exhale the hands into the heart center. So you're going to start to really feel that engagement in the legs. When you're in the proper alignment, it's a big, big deal. So here we go again. Let's do it one more time. So take a deep breath in, put your hands at heart center. Exhale all the way down into your forward fold. Remember, knees bent. If you need to, shift the weight to the ball of the foot, drop the head. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands are on the block, the shins or the thighs. Flatten that spine out, lift the chin up, shift forward, ball of the foot. Exhale, back down into the fold. Weight is in the ball of the foot, releasing the neck, so no tension there. Then inhale, coming all the way up into standings. Arms come up, interlace, steeple mudra, look up, belly and tuck the pelvis, and then back, 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 back. Exhale those hands into your heart center. Beautiful. So that's your forward fold, or Uttanasana, your halfway lift, which is Ardha Uttanasana, and then we have the fingers interlaced coming up into the steeple mudra, looking up. That is Urdhva Hastasana, it's an upward salute. So I'd like for you to get your yoga strap here. And we're gonna actually use it as like an alignment marker. So take the strap and take it down the center of the mat here. All right, beautiful. So this is our line, and that we're gonna utilize for our alignment here. So I want you to think about that hip width distance between the feet here. And then you're gonna keep your left foot right where it is. And then I want you to bend down, bending your knees here, and I want you to step the right foot back, and I want you to place your heel right near the line, and the foot's gonna be at a 45-degree angle. Then go ahead and come on up. Left toes stay where they're at for now. Place your hands on your hips, and we're gonna square the hips towards the front, and you gotta anchor that back foot down. Now here's the thing. If you can't get your hips square by having the leg right here, put a little bend into that left foot and just heel toe the foot out more towards the left. Then you should be able to turn the pelvis. Because this is all anatomy right here. This is how our bones are put together. So you have your femur bone that comes up, that has that greater trochanter that's going to place into that acetabulum, the hip socket. And depending on how it's at a diagonal, straight, or short, or long, it's going to determine how you're going to be able to move your hips. So then you're going to turn here, and I want you to press into an imaginary wall. So the shoulders are going to stay right on top of the hips here. Now when you press into that imaginary wall, anchoring that back foot down, your glutes here on the right should be firing off, and you got to keep the hips square. So you're pressing, pressing, pressing. Now look at your left knee, and I want you to stack it right on top of the ankle, so not forward, not back. So if you can't bend your leg as far as mine is, then you need to shorten the stance up a little bit. So step the back foot forward and set up. Keeping the hands pressing into the imaginary wall. What I want you to do is to turn the palms to face one another, and then slightly pull that knee on the left towards that pinky toe. You should feel the right glute fire off just a little bit more because you're keeping that foot flat. And then raise the arms up. And look up, rotate the pinkies in. Now for some of you, when you try to pull the arms up, you're like, oh, they don't go up. That is because you have your acromion process here, this little bone that sticks out, that is preventing that humerus bone from going up. If that's the case, take the arms out first, and then come up and rotate the pinkies in, and that way you can bypass it. So here we are, Virabhadrasana A, Warrior One. So take a deep breath in, and out. Deep breath in, and out. One more in. Exhale, hands to the hips, and begin to straighten that front leg out. Woo! So do you feel everything that starts to work in this position? Beautiful. So bend through the front leg and step the back foot forward. All right, for intents and purposes, I'm going to go to the other side so you can see it in this direction. So we have two sides in Hatha Yoga, which is what we're practicing. You have to balance it out. So whatever you do on the left, you have to do on the right, vice versa. So the right foot is going to stay forward. Remember, hip width distance first. And then you're going to step the left foot back. But what we're going to do is we're going to bend first. Then you're going to step that left foot back. Remember, that left heel is going to come to that line. Then you're going to come on up. Begin to square the hips. And remember, if you can't square, you're going to heel toe that right hip more out to the side to give you a slightly wider stance. And it's also going to help you with stability so you don't feel like you're going to fall over. So left leg is straight and strong. You have that foot plugged down. Lift the toes up in the left foot to feel the grounding in the feet. You're going to feel it like underneath the pinky toe, the mound of the big toe, and the center of the heel on either side, so it's grounded, and lower the toes. Squaring the hips, press into that imaginary wall, feeling that your left glute is starting to fire off a little bit more. Start to bend that right knee, stack it on top of the ankle. Remember, short stance if you need to, then pull it each towards that pinky toe. You should feel down, maybe even in that inner thigh, that quad in the left. Now remember, if your acromion process prevents you from coming up, widen the arms, and then everybody raise the arms up, rotate the pinkies in, and I want you reaching up, holding the hip square, foot is anchored down, and you're like just trying to hold this. And remember to breathe, so look up if you can. Take a deep breath in. And out. In. And out. One more in. Exhale, hands to the hips, straighten out that front leg. Woo, right? Bend that knee and just step it forward. All right, so now what we're going to do is making sure that the feet are nice and about hip width apart. So think about that block there. Hands at heart center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale all the way down into that forward fold. Now remember, the weight is in the ball of the foot. You can bend the knees if you need to. You got to release the neck. And then inhale into that halfway lift. So your hands are on your shins or your thighs. Pull those shoulders back. Lift that chest. Flatten that spine. Shift the weight forward. Feel it in the hamstrings. Exhale down into the fold. Then inhale coming up, taking the arms up, Steeple Mudra, Urdhva Hastasana. Pull the belly in. Draw the pelvis down. Tuck it in. And then back, 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 back. Exhale those hands into your heart center. So beautiful. So we're going through and just really working on the dynamics here, establishing the foundation even before you build the house. So now what we're going to do is working on our warrior two, really getting into that solid stance, that solid alignment to feel how you're going to engage the muscles appropriately. So walking towards the front of the mat, making sure that the hips here, that the feet are hip width. Now this is a slightly different one. So imaginary line, or the yoga instructor, step on it with the left foot. Then I want you to bend down a little, bend the knees, and we're going to step the right foot back, and we're going to bring that foot at a 90 degree to where the yoga strap is going to go right down the arch, right underneath it. So by using the line with the strap, you can see that the left heel is bisecting the arch of the right foot. Then go ahead and come on up here. On your torso,